Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to share with you this adorable baby hat with double pom-poms. This hat is so simple to make. It uses only double crochets. For this hat I used loops and threads, double DK, which is weight 3 yarn, and I also used 4.5 millimeters hook. This hat is made for 0 to 3 months old baby, and that means that my measurements are 5 inches and across 6.5, so 13 inches. So without further ado, let's begin. We're going to start with a magic circle. So wrap your yarn around your fingers and pull that yarn through. You're going to end up with a little circle. So hold on to that circle. And into that circle, we're going to start with chain 3. And now we're going to make another double crochet here. Chain 1. We're going to be doing 10 groups of 2 double crochets together, separated by a chain 1. So I'm sure you're familiar with double crochet 2 together, but if you're not, here's a short review. So yarn over, get into that circle, pull up that yarn, do only half of the double crochet, meaning go through the first 2 loops on your hook, keep these 2 on, yarn over, go another time into the circle, go through the first 2 loops on the hook, and now go through all 3. Chain 1. One more time. Do half double crochet, yarn over, go through 2, and then go through 3. So right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 groups. We need 10. So at the end, I better double check to make sure I have 10 groups of 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 10 groups of 2 is what we have. I'm going to chain 1 and slip stitch at the top of the chain 3 from the previous row. Tighten this thread so that you close the circle. And now we're going to put this white yarn on hold with a preferably lockable stitch marker, just in case so you don't lose your stitch. And I'm going to switch my yarn to yellow. So I am going to make a slip knot and then start my yellow yarn between the 2 sets of 2 double crochet together. So you can see the space, so chain 1 space. Okay, so now chain 3. And this time we're going to be putting shells of 3 double crochets, also known as granny stitch shell, into every chain 1 space. There is this one more space I need to work into, and there I will put 3 double crochets. And I will slip stitch into the top of chain 3. So let's switch yarns again. Pull on this white yarn and replace the marker onto the yellow yarn. Tighten this slightly. And now with the white yarn, what we need to do is we're going to be working into every middle stitch of the 3 double crochet shell. So we're going to be working into these spaces. So this one here, and this one here, and this one here. So I'll pull up my yarn that's in the back to that middle stitch, grab the loop, make sure you have the height and it's not too tight. You don't want this to pull on the hat. Chain 3, and this time you're going to be putting 4 double crochets in each of the middle stitches of the previous row shells. So 2, 3, and 4. Moving on to the next shell, which is this one here, we're going to be working into this middle stitch and put 4 double crochet shell in there. And so on until you get to the end of the row. At the end of the row, we are going to slip stitch again into the top of chain 3 and switch the yarn again. Always push this marker in the back. So this time around, we are going to put or work in between the two sets of 2 double crochets of each of the 4 double crochet shell. So there are 4 stitches. We're going to be working in the middle of those 4 and so on. So let's grab our yellow yarn, and it's right behind this shell here. So pull the yarn up. Don't make it tight so it doesn't tug on the back. So chain 3, and this time we're going to be doing 5 double crochet shells into this space between the 2 sets of 2 double crochets. So 5 double crochets in each of the middle of the shell of the previous row. Move on to the next space in the middle of 4 double crochet shell from the previous row and do 5 double crochet shell in there. One more time. So move on to the next shell into this middle here, 5 double crochets, and do so until you get to the end of the row. And we'll switch the yarn again and continue on with our little hat. So let's take some measurements. I'm making this for 0 to 3 months old baby, and what I'm looking for is 4.5 inches in diameter. And what I have is, at the widest part, I have 4.5. So I'm not going to increase anymore. That would be in centimeters, 11 centimeters. So I'm right on target. Let's pull this yarn, the white yarn out. We need to start in the middle stitch of the chain 5, or sorry, of the double crochet 5 shells. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're looking to start working in every middle stitch of every shell. So again, this is the middle stitch right here. When you look at the shell, you can clearly see the middle stitch, and it's right here. I am going to slip stitch with the yellow yarn to the middle of the shell, and that's going to help me later on when I need to use my yellow yarn. I will pull the white yarn out and move my stitch marker to yellow yarn. Now with the white yarn, only this time we are going to chain one, leave a decent tail so you can weave this end in and cut the yarn. All right, so now with the white yarn we're going to reattach it, only this time we're going to start in the middle of yellow shell. So right here, chain 3, and now we're going to continue putting 5 double crochets in each of the shells from the previous row, and every time we do so we're going to be working into the middle stitch of that shell. So I had my chain 3 and 1 2 3 4 double crochets. Moving on to the next shell, find that middle stitch, which is right here, and 5 double crochets. So very simple. Moving on to the next shell and into this middle stitch, we're going to do 5 double crochets. So continue this all the way around. So as you can see, our little hat is beginning to curl. And so now we're going to switch the yarn again. I am going to slip stitch to the middle. It's really important to keep this yarn you are not working with in the back, into that middle stitch. Another 4 double crochets will meet you. You will continue this pattern working 5 double crochets into the middle stitch of each 5 double crochet shell from the previous row. So let's count our rows. I have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 rows all together, and if I measure it, I will see that I have, from the top of the hat to the highest or the lowest point, it's 5 inches. So I am going to do one more row in white, and I think that's going to be enough as far as the depth of a hat. This hat is very stretchy, and let's measure again after we do a row of white yarn. Let's measure again, and I am at 5.5 inches. So what I'm going to do is, here with the white yarn, I am going to chain 1 and cut the yarn, and then with the yellow yarn I will pull it up a little bit, grab that stitch, chain 1 and cut that yarn. So what we have to do now is we have to weave in the ends. So to make the pom-pom, I'm using both white and yellow yarns, and I'm also using a gift card or credit card or whatever you have handy. I'm gonna lay my probably 1 meter yarn that I cut, folded in half, on top of my credit card, and I am now going to start wrapping the yarn, both yellow and white, at the same time around my gift card. So this is what we have. hold that yarn with your thumb. And now add these 2 strands and start wrapping. So 1, 2, 9, 10. I will wrap this 50 times and cut your yarn. And now we're going to tie a knot. I'll do a triple knot and pull. And I'm going to do 1 more knot. And 2, and tighten. We can now take the pom-pom off the card. Lay it flat like this. And now we need to take these 2 strands in the middle on the back side. So on the back side, again, we are going to tie some knots. Pull that yarn and secure your knots. So I think that's pretty strong now. So what we need to do is cut our little donut around. It does look like a little donut. So make sure you don't cut these 2 tails because you need those to attach the pom-pom to the hat. So put them aside and start cutting on the edges. Then you need to grab these 2 tails and you need to start shaping your pom-pom and making it the same size as the other one. So I'll do that and then I'll meet you after I'm done so we can attach the pom-poms to our hat. So to attach our pom-poms, all we need is the pom-poms that we made and a crochet hook. We're gonna attach them in row 3. So 1, 2, 3, and where you see these sets of double crochets, so these are 2 double crochets and 2 double crochets, we're gonna attach our pom-poms in here. So at the end of between the 2 sets of 4 double crochets. Okay, so right in here. So to do that, I will get my crochet hook into one of those spaces, grab a couple of strands from the pom-pom and then insert your hook just below. Grab the other 2 strands and get them inside the hat. And now grab those 2 strands and then tie them once. And we're not going to finish tying them and securing them because we need to make sure that we are happy with where they're positioned. Now we're going to find the same stitch on the opposite side. So it's right here. So again, between the 2 sets of 4 double crochet, so my hook will go in here. And then let's see if we're happy with their placement. Oh my goodness, that is just adorable. I'm gonna go inside my hat and tie these knots to secure these pom-poms. So I'll do triple knot, and I'll do the same with the other side. I don't need to weave these tails in because we made several knots to keep these pom-poms in place. So I'm just going to cut my yarn. And this is definitely one of my favorites now. I love making these hats. Like this one took me probably an hour to crochet, plus the time that I spent making the pom-poms. Very inexpensive, takes very little yarn. I enjoyed making this tutorial with you. Until our next project, stay well everyone.